Episode 4, Secrets. Underneath, Rachel and Nick moved fast, ducking behind rusted train cars as the black SUV cruised by. They didn't dare make a sound. The SUV's engine rumbled low, slow, like a predator hunting its prey. Rachel's heart hammered against her ribs. After what felt like forever, the SUV finally disappeared into the night. Nick waited a few more seconds, listening carefully, before whispering, "Come on, we're not safe here." They sprinted to Rachel's car, tires kicking up gravel. As they pulled away from the rail yard, Rachel kept glancing in the rearview mirror, expecting the SUV to appear again. It didn't, not yet. Nick led Rachel to a safe place, an old auto shop his uncle used to own before it shut down. The front windows were boarded up. Inside, it smelled like oil and dust, but at least it was safe. For now, Rachel paced the floor while Nick spread out the folder of evidence. They had to figure out Emma's clues, fast. Nick pulled out an old map of Willow Creek. He pointed at 3 spots, circled in red marker. "This is what Emma was investigating," he said. "The abandoned storage building where Rachel found the dead phone, the town's old water treatment plant, and the Willow Creek cemetery." Rachel frowned. "The cemetery? Why would she be looking there?" Nick gave a grim smile. "Because sometimes," he said, "the best place to hide a secret is right under everyone's nose." They decided to start with the water treatment plant. It was closest and least likely to be crawling with people in the middle of the night. They loaded the folder back into Nick's backpack and headed out. The plant sat on the outskirts of town. It had been shut down years ago after the town built a new one, or so the official story went. Rachel shivered as they approached the rusted gate. The whole place looked like a horror movie. Set fences falling apart, weeds taller than Rachel, windows smashed out, and dead silence. Nick used a crowbar to pry the gate open, just enough for them to slip through. Inside, the place was a maze of pipes, broken machinery, and dark hallways. Rachel kept her flashlight low to avoid drawing attention. Nick led the way, checking every corner. They moved deeper into the building until they reached a heavy steel door. Duffer was half open, just enough to squeeze through. On the other side was a large underground room. The walls were lined with filing cabinets and old desks. Mold and mildew clung to everything, but something caught Rachel's eye. In the center of the room was a hatch built into the floor. A hatch that didn't belong in any normal water plant. Rachel knelt down. The hatch had a heavy chain across it, locked tight. Nick cursed under his breath. "Of course it's locked." Rachel scanned the room and spotted a dusty tool chest in the corner. Inside, she found a bolt cutter. Perfect. With a sharp snap, the lock fell away. Both knowing that whatever was down there, it could change everything. Nick grabbed the hatch handle and pulled. It groaned open, releasing a blast of cold, damp air. Rachel gagged at the smell. Rot, rust, and something else she couldn't name. Nick dropped down first, then helped Rachel climb down into the darkness. Below, they found a narrow tunnel. The walls were made of crumbling brick. The air was heavy, hard to breathe. Rachel's flashlight shook in her hand. "Where does this even go?" she whispered. Nick shrugged. "Only one way to find out." They followed the tunnel, the air growing colder with every step. After about 50 feet, the tunnel opened into a hidden chamber. Rachel froze. In the middle of the room were rows of metal shelves, and on those shelves, boxes, dozens of them. Nick pried one open. Inside were stacks of files, yellowed with age. Rachel grabbed a folder and flipped through it. What she saw made her blood run cold. Photos, names, dates, people from Willow Creek. Some were marked missing. Some were marked resolved. Next to some names were chilling notes handled, paid off, silenced. Rachel's stomach twisted. This wasn't just about Emma. It was about dozens, maybe hundreds, of people who had disappeared or been threatened over the years. The corruption ran deeper than she ever could have imagined. Nick's face was grim. "This is it," he said. "This is what they were hiding." Rachel's mind raced. If they could get these files to someone trustworthy, maybe someone outside Willow Creek, they could blow the whole thing open, but they needed to move fast. If the people behind this found out what Rachel and Nick had discovered, they wouldn't just disappear Emma, they'd disappear them too. Suddenly, Rachel's flashlight flickered. She tapped it, and it went dark. Total blackness swallowed them. Rachel's heart leapt into her throat. Nick whispered, "Urgent, run!" Rachel didn't wait. She grabbed a handful of files and sprinted back toward the tunnel. Behind them, footsteps echoed, heavy, fast, closing in. They weren't alone anymore. Someone had found them, and they weren't leaving without a fight.